Okay, just making sure I'm doing that. All right. Okay. Any more questions on this? Let's see. What else? Let's just do this one real quick, I guess. Find the slope of each line. The slope is just m, so the slope is 3. Find the slope of the line parallel. The line slope of the parallel is the same, so -2. So for these, you're just pulling them out of the equation, okay? All right. What's next? Domain range of parent functions. All right, here's the parent functions right here. You guys did these as notes, but I just want you guys to think about the domain and range real quick, all right? If you have a line going like this is really a domain of -infinity to infinity because it goes forever. And that's also like saying, like, you can plug any number in for x. You can plug any number in for x, like 2 billion, -6, you can plug in a half, and then you can get an answer. So either from the graph or thinking about the equation, you can plug any number in for x. That means the domain is -infinity to infinity. And if you look at the graph, you know, so is the range. Okay, the next one is not the same. The next one is a parabola, looks like this. So think about the domain on x. The domain actually goes from -infinity to infinity. And that's to say, like, you can plug any number in here. You can plug -3 or -33,000. All right, however you want. You can plug any number for x. So it goes over -infinity all the way to +infinity. But the range is different, okay? The range is going to stop right here at 0. So the range is going to go from 0 to infinity. Not -infinity to infinity, like just a linear function. So each of these parent functions has a different domain and range. Okay, let's take a look at x cubed real quick. X cubed goes like this. Well, that means that the domain is -infinity to infinity, and the range is also -infinity to infinity. So we had some constraints for our quadratic, but we don't have the constraints for the cubic. Excuse me. Absolute value is going to look a lot like the quadratic, and if you remember, it's a v. So the domain is -infinity to infinity, but the absolute value can only give you a positive answer. So this has to start at 0. So the range is going to go from 0 to infinity. That's a comma there. So, okay, I'm kind of going fast, but I'm trying to cover a little bit. So I want you guys to keep up. I don't think this is terribly hard. If I do need to slow down, please let me know, okay? Square root. Hey, Turner, welcome. The square root is going to start like this. Now our domain. Think about our domain all of a sudden. Like, you can't take the square root of -5, okay? If you take the square root of a negative number, you're going to get an error message in your calculator. So now your domain is restricted, and your domain has to start at 0. Okay, so the domain goes from 0, and you can plug any number as high as you want into it. That's fine. That's a parentheses. But that also means our range is restricted, right? So the range starts right here. It doesn't go below. So the range is going to be from 0 to infinity as well. Okay. All right. So what you need to know for this is you really need to be able to know the names of the parent functions, and you need to be able to look at either the equation or the graph and know the name of the parent function. And so vice versa, if I told you the square root function, you need to know what it kind of looks like and you need to know kind of how to write it, okay? So we're going to go more into square roots later on. We're not going to cover very much cubic, but you should have a general idea what it's going to look like. And quadratic we'll get to here in a few weeks, okay? So linear is what we're working on right now. And you guys should get very proficient at linear. Let me go close my door real quick. Okay, thank you, I'm back. Okay, so what next? Grades. I plan on getting everything graded and in the grade book tomorrow. And if you typed in the form you want a grade report sent to you, I will send you a grade report. If you don't want the grade report, I won't send you a grade report unless you have a D or an F. And then I will send you and your parents a grade report. If you have any questions about that, ask me in the comments privately or put it in the chat. Turner, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this link. You need to fill out that link. Okay. Let's see. What next? Raises part B. Okay, so raises part B task. Yeah, let's do that. Did everybody see that I posted a video? Let's see.
What, that pep talk thing?
Where did I post the video at? Did I not post it? Maybe I didn't post it. I posted it. Near functions assignments. Task. Where's, oh, task part B. Okay, so I need to post that video. Okay, good. I'm glad. No, I posted in the link. I posted in the slides. Not too much going on here. So today, you guys are going to need to go find this video if you haven't already. I think you were supposed to watch it yesterday. But the video is right here. And this is what I need you guys to watch, okay? But let's open it up and talk about it a little bit. And the reason I started doing this task part B is because kids were struggling with percentages. And so to get basically from year 1 to year 2, you are going to multiply, $40,000 times 100%, so it's point, and then 0.06 is going to be 6%. And so you multiply 40,000 times 1.06, and then you put that number here. And then you multiply that number by 1.06 and you put that number here. And the idea is that this starts off at about $10,000. Well, this starts off at $10,000 difference. And then this one becomes more than 13,000. And so you think, well, I'm only making $10,000 less than this other person. But in just 6 years, there's a 33% growth in the gap. And then you multiply that over the course of, say, like 20 years or 25 years or 30 years, and you're going to have a huge gap in earnings. And this is what happens in the workplace. It happens a lot for women and minorities. It happens a lot for people who might not be able to negotiate a higher pay very well. It happens for people who, you know, for one reason or the other come in at a lower wage. Sometimes it's just when you join, right? So like, let's say you join a company 1 year and your company is trying to hire people, but they don't hire enough. They hired you, but they still had some extra positions. So then the company makes a decision, okay, everybody that's hired next year, we're just going to start at like 8,000 more in salary. And then so the next person, next year somebody gets hired and you and him are doing the same job and he has one less experience than you, but he's making 8,000 more a year. And this totally happens out there. Um, and it's crazy. I can see the argument where people say it's fair. It's not the way I feel. I think it's a terrible way to do it. But I do agree that it's easy. And so like even school districts, like, you know, Bullitt County Public Schools has like oh, I'm sorry. Were you guys telling me I'm not sharing my screen? Was I sharing? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. I'm sorry. Freaked out a little bit there. Um, Bullitt County Public Schools has like tens of thousands of employees. And so for them to sit down and negotiate with each employee over a raise would just be ludicrous. You know, not to say it's not the right thing to do, but it would take a lot of time and money to do that. And so, you know, it's very easy for a company to say, you know, hey, you know, we did a good job this year and we have it in the budget to give everybody a 5% raise. And then everybody has a 5% raise, so everybody seems happy. And, you know, on one hand, if you got 5% raise, you probably are happy. But on the other hand, if you're doing the same exact job as Mason, but Mason's making $10,000 more than you, you know, that, I mean, that could drive people crazy, you know, thinking about their self-worth. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, the task B raises. In order for you to get the full credit, you have to answer all the questions and you need to answer them in full sentences. So sometimes I'm going to send your grade back like a 20 out of 25. Please go back in and type more or explain more and then resubmit. Don't leave it at a 18 out of 25 or 20 out of 25. It's easy points. Take your time and go back and do it, okay? What else? Let's see. All I gotta do is there we go. Test. Next Friday, we're gonna take the functions test. So I need you guys to go in and I need you guys to look at your functions quiz. I'm gonna give you another small quiz tomorrow to do. But I need you guys to go to GradeCam and review your quiz that you put in. And I posted a video about me going through the quiz also. So I know we've covered everything, but I don't believe we've got it. Like, you're gonna have to know when to use the vertical line test. You're gonna have to know how to map functions. You should definitely know function notation, okay? And it's even gonna be here. Like, well, I'll show this video later. Never mind. Last thing is rewrite functions. Okay, so here's a list of equations, and you guys need to focus on the top three, okay? The top three are the ones you have to know. Not really super important for the functions test, but what we're going into next, you guys need to know y equals mx plus b. I think, you know, a lot of you guys have talked about it in the past, and you talked about your middle school teachers harping on slope a lot, and that's awesome. So maybe you've already got it. If you don't feel super comfortable with y equals mx plus b when you start watching videos or asking questions or something, go to Khan Academy. The point slope form, this is what we're going to dive into in a little bit. This looks really long and complicated, but it's actually super duper easy. All you have to do is put in 3 numbers into spots, and then you have the same slope. So when we get to it, you know, I understand some kids are like, oh my gosh, that's so big. But please give it a chance. Just listen, and you'll be fine. A lot of kids later on say, this is my favorite one. And then this is what we're starting on this next assignment is standard form, ax plus by equals c. Notice it as b, but this b and this b are not the same. Okay, don't think that those are the same. They are not. This is just saying like a coefficient a, coefficient b, and a constant c. And this b is specifically the y-intercept. Okay. All right, so let's do here's the next one you have to know. And this is the slope equation. So you'll see here they used it. Like if you have 5 and 7, you just put the numbers in, and then you subtract them. And then here's your other one right here. So they go in. And then you simplify the fraction. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 equations you're going to have to start knowing. I would go ahead and make sure you start memorizing the slope one, y2 minus y1 equals x over x2 minus x1. And then the slope intercept in standard form, I would definitely know by heart, okay? I posted a video on this, but this is the solve for y, so I'm going to do a couple here. If you have pen and paper, you want to write them down, I would suggest it. A nice way of saying this is solve for y. Another way you could say is write in slope intercept form. So we're trying to write y equals mx plus b. All right, I'm kind of pausing a little bit in case you do want to write it down. So it's just 2 steps, and it's pretty much always 2 steps. The first step is add or subtract x across. All right, or cancel x. So you're going to add or subtract to cancel x. You have x on the left, and you want to move it over to the right. So we're going to subtract 3x. And this is where kids will struggle with, is they'll say 5 minus 3 is 2. No, don't do any arithmetic. You need to remember in foundations, we learned that you have to have like terms. 5 is a constant, negative 3x has a variable, so you can't put them together. It's going to be y equals negative 3x and positive 5 or plus 5. Okay, now you can say 5 minus 3x, like you can transpose these 2 numbers and you are technically correct. I'm going to leave it as x first because I want x here in my slope intercept form. But if you write y equals 5 minus 3x, you're right. Okay, now the last step is to divide the y coefficient out. And in this case, the coefficient here is 1. And so I could divide both sides by 1, but I don't need to. So this is done. Okay. My slope is negative 3, and my y-intercept is 5. That's it. Okay. Step 1 is add or subtract x across. This is minus x. So to cancel, I'll add x. So I'll add x minus y. Remember to bring down the negative. You've canceled this, but you haven't canceled this, so you need to bring down the negative. This is not negative 1x. Do not do any arithmetic. Just put it down. Just say x minus 2. That's it. Do not do any arithmetic. Okay, now this is negative y. So here I'm going to divide out the coefficients. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. And that's going to cancel the negative out. So I've got positive y left over. On this one, what we say is we need to give both sides love. You know, which one am I dividing? We're going to divide both by -1. So we draw this heart. Looks like a heart. Hopefully you guys see that as a heart, where we're dividing both, okay? So since I'm dividing by -1, I'm just going to flip the signs. Positive x divided by -1 is negative x. And positive, oh no, -2, -2 divided by -1 is +2. That's it. Okay. All right, you guys good? Can I go on the last one? Questions? Okay. Last example is right here. You guys already in your head tell what to do? You guys remember step 1? -4x minus 4x. I'm just going to bring down 8y. Is this -2x? No. Never do anything here. All you're basically going to do is write it out in 2 parts. -4x plus 2. Okay, what's next? What's step 2? Divide by 8. Some kids want to divide by 8y. Don't divide by 8y. You want the y. Remember, we want the y by itself over here. So don't divide by y, just divide by 8. Give them both love. And it helps to draw this heart out. I mean, when you're first starting out, if you struggle with it, draw it out. You don't have to, but I mean, really, if you're struggling with what to do, this will tell you. -4 divided by 8 is -2/4, which is going to be, why did I simplified that, but I simplified that. Let me go back. It's -4/8, but I'm going to simplify that. Another way of saying that is 1/2, right? So I'm going to say -1/2 x plus 2/8. And in this case, that goes down to 1/4. So I'm going to do 1/4. And that is it, okay? Okay, did I bore everybody to death? That, rewrite the equation is the most important thing you're going to do this week. And I need everybody to commit themselves to learning how to do it, okay? If you are getting to the end of tomorrow and you can't do that, we need to put up some more practice problems for you. All right. Let me see if I can get to my responses. The function 1 activities where I was struggling yesterday. I went through that, Dylan. Stay on the call if you want me to go through more. Is there just okay? That's oh, my favorite type of music for Miss Dorsey. What's your favorite type of music?
I would say country probably. I mean, I like all music except for the nasty stuff these days, but.
Miss Dorsey, are you muted?
I'm unmuted.
Are you muted?
Can you hear me now?
Somebody asked you what your favorite type of music was. Are you still muted?
I don't think so.
Maybe answer in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
not muted. He's just messing with you.
Let's see.
Wow.
How am I doing today? I am doing all right. You know, I don't know. The election is stressful. The virtual learning is stressful. My kids are stressful. What is that? That's a doggy. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, I'm feeling
This
pretty
is
good.
my puppy. This is Cash. He's an
Okay,
idiot.
that's how I'm doing today. Is there any other questions somebody has of me? Let's see. Yes. All right, guys. Well, we went through a lot today. Dylan or anybody else that wants help on either the functions assignment or the giving tasks, giving raises task, you can stay on with me. If you guys need any help on all the other assignments, contact Ms. Dorsey or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. I know that the writing equations assignment, I'm having you guys print it out. You can either print it or you can just do it on paper. Take a picture of it, or scan it as a PDF, and you need to attach a work sample into your assignment to turn it in. And if it's not attached, I'm just going to send it back and ask you to attach it. But keep up with yourselves. I hope you guys are healthy. I hope you guys are staying sane. I assume you guys are coping with this okay, but that might be an assumption on my part. I really do miss you guys. It looks like we are not going to be AB next week. We're going to be virtual still. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to chat. Feel free to just make sure you're staying connected out there. Make sure you guys are staying safe, okay? I am done. If you guys need anything else, let me know. I assume everybody filled out the form. If you didn't fill out the form, make sure you fill it out. Love you guys. Dylan, do you want to do more of the linear functions worksheet together?
Yeah, I do. Let me.
Dylan, is your mic working? Is my
Should be.
is my volume down? No, my volume's up. Can you hear me, Dylan?
Yeah.
I see your voice moving and you're not muted.
Hey, Mr. Brooks.